We are down to our two finalists for the 2025 MHA Championship, and they will compete for that Tiki Trophy this upcoming weekend. What's up, MHA owners? Thanks for tuning in to this Christmas week. I'm Eric Lansing, along with Mikey Renault and Todd Diamond. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. What's up, fellas? How we doing on this Tuesday night?
Fantastic. Feeling good, feeling good, feeling good. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
much
really good.
that's been Todd's mantra all year long. Mikey, how are
Yep.
you doing?
I'm doing okay. Sounds like you're doing pretty true yourself.
Oh, I'm doing great. It's Tuesday, a couple days from Christmas. What could be better, right?
All right, there you go. The silver
Exactly.
lining.
Everything
Exactly.
will be merry and bright, as they say.
Of course. No one expected otherwise, right? It's going to be great. I can't wait. Let's get into the recaps because we really don't have much news. There's one piece of news, but we'll talk about that when we get to next week's matchup. And we'll start with the number 1 seed in Line Rip taking on those number 4 seeded Gonzo Cats. Of course, this big storyline was Trevor Lawrence. Of course, we all saw Patrick Mahomes go down for Aaron's squad, before this past weekend. And so he had to make a decision, and he went with Trevor Lawrence, and boy, it paid off in dividends. In fact, he proceeded to dissect the Denver defense to the tune of 60 points. It also helped the Jaguars upset those Broncos 34-20 in Denver, Colorado. Lawrence had 3 touchdown passes. However, none of them went to Gonzo Cat starting flex option and Brian Thomas Jr., who only caught 2 passes for 2 points. While George Pickens, DJ Moore, and Jameer Gibbs all did well for Pollen's squad. They totaled 56 points. Lawrence, along with 25 Bijan Robinson points, led Lion Rip to that championship game with a 159-135 victory. Mikey, give us some of your thoughts on this one. Trevor Lawrence, what a pickup for Aaron, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely huge. With Mahomes going down, we talked about it on last week's podcast. What was he going to do? Was he going to look at the waiver wire? And no, Aaron told me he actually picked up Trevor Lawrence prior to Mahomes getting hurt because he was planning on, using Lawrence in his matchup for the championship game should he get there. And so it kind of left him with no choice that now he had to use it in what he thought, wasn't as, great of a matchup against the Broncos, but didn't matter. I mean, Trevor Lawrence played amazing, like rushing touchdown to go with 3 passing touchdowns. Like, yeah, this is right in line with one of the pickups of the year because it came at the right time and he needed it.
Todd, what did you see from this matchup? Anything stand out? I mean, it was a pretty close matchup for the most part, but once Trevor Lawrence came in and distanced himself from Bo Nix and his 45 points, it just seemed like it was destined for the number 1 team all season long to be in the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron has definitely been, his team, he's been, obviously Jonathan Taylor and Bijan have been his, his 2 big weapons. And I mean, and obviously, and when you add Patrick Mahomes, obviously 2 in that mix, the beginning, obviously that's a big one. That's a big 3. That's a 1-2-3 punch for sure. And then obviously with Patrick Mahomes going down, I mean, obviously us as Broncos fans, we were like, yeah, Chiefs, Chiefs done for, hopefully. And picking up Trevor Lawrence and obviously going up against the Broncos in Denver, in Mile High, it's like, you're thinking, oh, this, Aaron just had to roll the dice because Trevor Lawrence is, probably the best option out there compared to what was on the waiver wire. But obviously the Jaguars definitely one of the hottest teams coming into that week as well. Yeah, I mean, but Aaron, definitely, it was huge for him. I mean, 60 points. I mean, obviously, getting, when, and Jameson Williams and I mean, Kelsey, I mean, that definitely shows you, how, without Mahomes, Kelsey's not, Travis Kelsey of sorts. But no, Aaron picked the right quarterback, and it worked out for him. And he's now he's in the championship game. So, and he said he's been the number one team for most of the season, and just showed it this past Sunday.
Definitely so. Going back to his first championship match since 2020. And how about who would be joining Mr. Renault for that next spot against him there this weekend? Well, I did not say that at all well. The next recap, number 2 seed Lemonheads taking on the number 3 seeded Butterfingers. Boy, this was kind of a tale of 3 days, or maybe even quarters. But really, Thursday night saw Matt Stafford and Puka Nakua. Boy, they've just been amazing for Todd all season long. They exploded for 101 points. 101 for the Butterfingers. Then on Sunday, it was a big fourth quarter for the Steelers-Lions game, fairly quiet through 3 quarters. And then Jared Goff, Jalen Warren, and Kenneth Gainwell, they combined for 115 points, giving the Lemonheads a 27-point lead heading into that Monday night affair. All that was remaining was Christian McCaffrey, and he needed at least 27 points. He got more than 27 points. He piled up his fourth 30-point game on the season, giving that victory to the Butterfingers. Todd, congratulations. You were at my place watching the game, and CMC comes through for you, your number 1 pick. You got to appreciate that.
Well, obviously, if there was going to be one player on my team, going into, a Monday night game that I needed that's capable of getting, at least the 27 points or more, it's Christian McCaffrey, the do it all running back. Again, it's we always talk about McCaffrey every single year that, obviously what he does, he should be the number 1 player every single year, no matter what, but obviously his injuries, is always hit, always his is the Achilles heel for him, the putting him number 1 every single year, because what he does, runs and catches. But going into that game, obviously, it's like 27 points. Okay. Obviously he's capable. I think he's capable of doing that. But, the fact too that, how quickly he got to, I think when you said, I said, I just need 10 points or something. And you're like, what? Like, yeah, he's got 17 points already. Like, and everything. Like, yeah. And, and I'll say this, why? And I think, Mikey, you brought it up on, you texted on the group chat, and, why the 49ers didn't challenge that touchdown that was clearly a touchdown. He dragged his feet, and why the 49ers didn't do it, who knows? Never know. But yeah, and I think at that point I was at, it was 180 to 175 point something, and and all his need was just, a touchdown, and man, Cat-Free was wide open. But I'll say this, Eric. This was an epic heavyweight fight, plain and simple. Say this. It's kind of a damn shame. It's, somebody had to lose, because this matchup really, like he brought up a good point. This one will go down as one of the best, playoff, matchups in our league's, our league's existence. So, like I said, it's a damn shame. It's something, because this was just going back, because I thought, I threw the first, big punch. I was up 103. I was like, oh my God, I was, but still, I was like, okay, Goff can still go off, and obviously your duo of Jalen Warren and Gainwell. Obviously that's high risk, high reward, playing the same running back on the same team. But that worked out for you as well, to get to that point. But yeah, I don't know. It was, I said I was pacing back and forth too. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so close. Like, I'd rather, some degree, you'd rather, not even get close and lose. But but if you lose, by by a decimal point or something like that, and didn't work out. But yeah, like I said, I'll say this every time. I say this every time till the end of time. I always feel like when I play you, Mikey or Aaron, I'm playing the best, regardless of how long the droughts of championships and everything. But I feel like I'm playing the best. You three are, you guys are the best because you guys have, obviously a lot of championships, regardless of how long the span has been. So, I always feel like I always have, really, really have to bring my A game when I play you guys. So, yeah, but, back, feel good be back in the championship game. And obviously we'll talk about the matchup, but this will be some revenge for, revenge on my side. I guess for me, and then also Aaron too, because Aaron's 2 losses came against me this season. So obviously he's going to have, so this might be maybe another epic, epic showdown for the championship for potentially for my 4th or Aaron's 5th and everything. So yeah, there you go.
Mikey, how good has that Stafford Nakua duo been this season? For them to put up those type of almost over 100 points, that's crazy. I mean, it was over 100 points though, just between those two. I mean, they've just been doing it all year.
It's absolutely ridiculous, and it was obviously helped by the fact that Devonte Adams was hurt, because now it just leaves Nakua as like basically that's who he's going to go to, and Adams. We'll talk about it later, I'm sure, but he's going to be out again. So I mean that works out again, for Todd. I mean, realistically, Stafford's just been amazing all year long. Like it's been years since he's been on this level, and yeah, I mean this is just his year. That's all
Is
there is to it.
is he the MVP in fantasy and in reality? This point, if you had a
Oh,
vote.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we'll have a show where we vote on it. Like he's got to be up there. In reality, yes. In fantasy, we'll see.
Okay,
There's other worthy candidates of that as well. But
fair enough.
yeah, I mean, he's been great.
Reality, he's running away with it at this point.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, pretty good. Does he end up on the studs list?
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Mikey, is he one of the studs, or do you have someone else that stands up?
Well, I mean, I got to give the stud to my first stud to Christian McCaffrey because, yeah, I mean, it came down to him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for you, I mean, Indianapolis, and it's so funny. I didn't try and jinx you, Eric, to be honest. We talked about it the night before. Indy had actually been really, really good against running backs this season, especially holding them to, low reception totals.
Yeah.
Last night, I didn't know what I was watching. Like, they looked so inept. They couldn't stop San Francisco from doing anything. They were just walking right up and down the field. It was just crazy. And yeah, I mean, Christian McCaffrey made that 30 look easy.
For sure. Todd, give me a stud. You can't pick
Yeah,
McCaffrey. I know it's your boy and all, but
let's go with Puka. My I guess my second round pick. I mean, he has just been. I mean, I think where I had him ranked, I think I had him ranked 3rd in my rankings. I just have to go back and look. I have to look at your guys' rankings, but of where I have. But he has just been. I mean, he's just been on a different level, and we thought this is what Jamar Chase was going to do. This is what we're expecting, the numbers like Jamar. And I mean, obviously, the quarterback situation for Jamar, that's kind of hampered him a little bit per se. But Puka's just been, I mean, wherever, on the outside, inside. I mean, he's just been on a different level for me. Just for the most part, just consistent enough and beyond where, I mean, he does everything. He does everything to, catches and gets touchdowns. So, Puka for me, I mean, no doubt about it. Even regardless, even with Adams in there too, Puka still puts up, really, really good numbers, each week.
And you can't ignore what Trevor Lawrence did, big time for Mr. Aaron Renault as he took on Denver's D. And we all questioned it. We questioned really Trevor Lawrence at the beginning of the year because we were saying, is this it? Can he not do it? And against the Denver's defense, who saw against the top quarterbacks, Justin Herbert just 44 points, Jalen Hurts 46 points. These are average numbers. Dak Prescott just 25 points. And then Patrick Mahomes, 44 points. And then for Trevor Lawrence to give up the most points, the Broncos defense, fantasy defense, has given up all year. I mean, he's coming off that big, 75 points the previous week and 5 touchdowns. And then he comes out here and does incredibly well. He also had a rushing touchdown on top of his 3 passing touchdowns. He's been stellar. And so for Aaron to pick him up, play him against the Broncos, and to come up with a big, that is just huge. 60 points. Never would I have guessed of it, but that's probably why I'm not playing in the championship, because I would have never guessed or even would have started Trevor Lawrence. But I also know there's a lot of quarterbacks on benches and there's probably not a lot to choose from. And so big time for Mr. Trevor Lawrence. With only a couple of games, Mikey, let's do one more. Do you have another stud?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bijan Robinson. He's had some weeks that have kind of been like, I'm not gonna say that they're bad, but for somebody as good as Bijan is, they were kind of like average. And in the biggest moments, he stepped up for Aaron, like more as a receiving back. 7 catches for 92 yards is just huge, and we know what receptions and receiving stats will do for a running back. For him to pop up with 25, to counteract Jahmyr Gibbs on Pollin's team, that was really big for Aaron.
Yeah, Bijan, 22 targets over the last couple of weeks. I guess that's when Drake London was hurt. You got to throw it to somebody. And I guess with Mr. Kirk Cousins, he appreciates the talent of his running back. Well, got to talk about those duds.
This is the worst. You are the worst. I hate looking at your face. I want to smash it.
Todd, we'll start with you.
Well, and one of your players, Eric, obviously he's been probably the best at his position all year, but Trey McBride, he's been one of your most consistent players, all season long. Double digits all the way through and through. And, especially against Atlanta. Atlanta's defense, isn't great, but but only to give up 5, only to give you 5. That's tough. And obviously talk about tight ends, unless you have one of the top guys, and obviously McBride is probably be the bet. It'll probably be the top tight end. Obviously when we go through the numbers at the end of the season, but 5 points, not what you're looking for from one of your big weapons. As far as I'm concerned, it's Goff, and McBride are 1 and 2, because obviously CeeDee Lamb's not been what you expected either. He hasn't been, but McBride's been more consistent for you this season, and only get 5. Not what you were looking for on Sunday.
Definitely stunk up the place. Mikey, what about you? Who else stunk up this past weekend?
Well, and included in this, man, if you would have told me that your top 3 draft picks would have combined for 17 points,
yeah, that was my pick. The first 3 picks in Eric's draft were all disappointments.
How did you get to 180 with your first 3 picks doing that? But mine is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, terrible.
He had that fumble, and it would just seem like after that, I don't know, the coach just decided to go a different direction for the rest of the night. You just saw Josh Jacobs on that sideline with the coat on. He was cold. He only basically played 30-something% of the snaps in that game, which is highly unusual for him. After having such a great game the week before against the Broncos, for him not to show up in a huge spot in a playoff game, it's got to be so disappointing.
And I'll finish it off with CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, did you guys know? There's different websites. I tried to look up who has the most drops this season. So I've seen a few from him, but I haven't seen every game, but I knew he was up there. But in a couple sites, he's one of the league leaders or tied for league leaders in drops this year. And for a first round pick, it's just, I don't know how you want to say it, but just the comparison, right? My first round pick, 8 points. Todd's first round pick, 30 points. So I think that goes to show why Todd's there, because you pick these guys for a reason. And with George Pickens coming in, he stole a lot of CeeDee Lamb's thunder this season. Now I wouldn't call him a huge disappointment. I mean, he was injured for 4 weeks in a row, but I mean, he never really carried me. Maybe one weekend where he had 18 points, but he was never what a first round pick should be doing for an owner. And so for him to put up just 8 in a matchup, but they threw the ball a lot because they were trailing in that game. It was George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb's pretty much been a disappointment all year long. Well, we talked about the news, and the only news that I saw that's going to affect anybody is Quinshon Judkins for Todd, who I didn't see it. I didn't see the replay. I know Mikey saw it and said he was glad I didn't see it because I would have puked all over his floor. But I guess it was pretty gruesome. He broke his leg on Sunday in that first half. So Todd won't have the Browns running back in his lineup. So that'll be a nice little segue to talk about this week's matchup as the Butterfingers take on the Lion Rip. So I'll let Todd just roll with this first. You're not going to have your boy Quinshon this week. Looks like you got Scary Terry in there. Talk about how you're feeling about this matchup with Aaron.
Well, I mean, obviously, too, Judkins the last 2 weeks hasn't been great, but obviously still started him because obviously, he was the main back, but in there. But yeah, I'm gonna go run with Scary Terry. I mean, obviously like the matchup. It's against Dallas and Dallas's defense. I ran with just this past week and got lit up. So I'm gonna run with that. I mean, I put in a waiver for someone else for another running back, Cleveland. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, again, I think it's because again, it looks like it may. I mean, depending on it, but it may come down. Bells may come down to Monday night once again. Am I going to be pacing across Eric's living room again? I don't know. But again, it's for the most part, it's me and Aaron's like all of our players play on Thursday. Some play on Thursday. I have, I think one I think kicker plays on Saturday. I have Caffrey going on Sunday night, and then I think Monday night. That's I think I'll say this. I think that's when we get together to watch because Monday night might be the, will be the might determine who wins because talk about heavy hitters on Monday night. I have Stafford, Puka. I'm going to run with Kyle Pitts. He's got Bijan and Kyron Williams. So, oh boy, get your popcorn ready. This might be another epic epic matchup. I mean, again, it'll maybe obviously determine because Trevor Lawrence plays on Sunday. So again, maybe a little bit, maybe a smidge of an advantage. I'll Trevor Lawrence will already been played already. So I'll see what I start doing my calculations and seeing what I have to do get those decimal points right. And so forth. But no, it's gonna be it's not gonna be it's not gonna be easy. I'm telling you right now because Aaron's got a great team. And obviously his players are very very capable of putting up big numbers. So again, this will be the third time me and Aaron have played this season. And the first two have gone to me. So like I said, he'll have some revenge on him on his side, and I'll have revenge on my side because obviously we played back in 2018. And was it 2018 or 20? No, yeah, it was 2018. 2018 in the championship game, and we all know that day, some douchebag named Nick Foles, 73 points. So, but no, I'm feeling good about my team. Again, I think, I mean, obviously the one player on my team that I, hopefully maybe score a touchdown that I traded a second round pick for is Jamar Chase. I mean, obviously still put up plus 15 points, but touchdown would have been touchdown. I need touchdowns out of him, so hopefully, he'll come up big there and get a touchdown for me. But other than that, fellas, I don't have any analogies, or I don't have any, any puns or anything like that. This is going to be just this might be another heavyweight fight again, and just have to, I guys, just hope everything, just kind of, start, get off to a good start on Thursday. Like I said, he has Jamison Williams, and he has Kelsey and everything, and I have RJ Harvey. So like I said, just have to please get off to a good start and see what happens. But again, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Just have to go on there and hope I can pull this win out, and hopefully maybe get my 4th championship.
Mikey, they obviously were early in the week. A lot of movement can happen between these two owners. Right now, they have it 158 to 138 in favor of the Butterfingers. But Aaron has that triple threat at running back. Did anything stand out to you in this matchup?
Well, and I don't mean to play spoiler, but he's not
Ooh, I
playing
like it.
Kelsey. I'll tell you that
I
much.
figure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Trevor Lawrence against Denver worked. Why not Travis Kelsey?
He's not playing Kelsey. Trust me on that. That's not. I don't know if that's insider information, but he's not playing Kelsey.
I don't think there's a lot of money being bet on this week, so I think for fun.
Yeah. And Todd, are you at all worried with Terry McLaurin, considering that it's going to be Josh Johnson playing quarterback in the Washington game?
I mean, again, I don't want to give away, but like I guess I gotta look at my waivers. But I picked up one of those Cleveland running backs. I mean, just for to see. But I mean, again, it's still Dallas's defense, and Dallas's defense is just horrid. So
Didn't you start them last week?
I sure did. And well, that was the reason because I wasn't going to play Seattle's defense either, and I know, like you mentioned, I probably would have been better off starting Cincinnati's defense instead, because I was when I was going to the what ifs, if I would have played Kyle Pitts instead of Ferguson, and played Cincinnati's defense instead of Dallas's defense. Instead of being down 27 points, I would only have been down 8, and probably would have been I guess maybe the night would have it would have been short lived, instead of waiting toward the end of the fourth quarter to see if I was going to win or not. But yeah, but I would say I've got Seattle's defense back in this spot there, and obviously I know Carolina's coming in playing really good football, but Seattle's defense is still good, still really good, and probably the best defense that's still left out there. So gotta have, not saying roll the dice on that one, but I feel more comfortable doing that than either playing maybe Dallas's defense against Josh Johnson. I get that, but I just I some degree I can't take that risk per se. So, but
So I think Yahoo's not accounting for a hot Trevor Lawrence against what you just saw Brock Purdy do to Indianapolis. I think that's kind of the, if I were Todd, that's what I would be worried about is that
Yeah,
Trevor
no, it's
Lawrence, basically, Trevor Lawrence has 11 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Brock Purdy just threw five against Indianapolis last night. Yeah, that to me would be scary. Uh, I mean, yeah, Aaron's running backs. You know, that's always a very scary proposition. The fact of the matter is, it's going to come down to Monday night. And if Kyron Williams ends up getting touchdowns versus the passing game, that is what's going to really change this. That's
mm,
going to hurt Todd really bad. Um, so, yeah, that's what Aaron needs. He needs this to be more of a let's get Kyron Williams the ball, or who knows, maybe Aaron even, he's hoping Blake Corum gets touchdowns, whatever keeps Stafford out of the end zone, I'm sure is what he's,
Yeah.
rooting for. Fantasy football's cruel in this way. And I could totally see because the belief has come back after 2 weeks of playing really well. After 5 or 6 years, now Todd has the belief back in Kyle Pitts. Will it be rewarded, or will he turn back into Kyle Pitts?
Yes, indeed.
yeah. Hey, if he could just get me what he got last week of 15 or 16 points, I'll be doing handstands. I'll be doing handstands there. But
Wow, you're counting that as a floor.
well, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, what? I mean, I mean, I'm not gonna say, yeah. Let me see if Kyle Pitts can get me like 20 or 30. I'm not. I mean, hey, if he does, hey,
I
hey,
think I
that's
think given that it's Kyle Pitts, I think you're happy if you get 8.
hmm. Well, hey, it's better than the 3 points. It's better than almost the 3 points I got from Jake Ferguson. So, um, but yeah, I'm at the end of the day, it really, really is going to come down to, and I guess maybe to throw in Jamar Chase because what I gave up to get him, but it's
Well,
Stafford Puka and it's
well,
Stafford.
you have receivers going against each other in that game, Chase versus Wilson. So
Mm,
that'll be an interesting back and forth. Chase is the better player, but Wilson's been
mm,
hotter.
true,
And no, I mean it's all
but
coming down to Monday night.
oh
And
yes, yeah,
and what
I
happens with that Rams offense? That's all it is. Stafford and Puka, or is it Kyron Williams game?
mm,
And then he's got Bijan on the other side. And so yeah,
Should
and
be a fun one.
Can Pitts get a touchdown to instead of Bijan? So it's funny, it works both ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but also too, you know, going into like even Sunday night with McCaffrey, if McCaffrey can, if McCaffrey can, do get another 30 points on Sunday night going into Monday night, then I'm feeling really good. So I think it again, it's good. It's it's gonna it's just like this past week. You know, it's can I get off to a can I get off to a great another great start? I mean, plain simple. Can RJ Harvey just run wild on Kansas City? Oh, I mean that would be I mean phenomenal because Jameson Williams against Minnesota. Um, and obviously, like you said, you need that he's not going to play Kelsey. All right, he's not going to play.
He's not gonna play
Play Kelsey.
Kelsey. He's not gonna play Bill's defense. Like
Well,
that's yeah. Those are
yeah.
two
I mean,
placeholders in there right now, but those are not. Yeah, he's not gonna use either one of those.
yeah. And at the end of the day, like I said, if I don't want to win, if I want to win, this is like hey, Aaron's gonna make his his adjustments and everything, and again, am I? for the moment, yes. Am I going to stick with Terry McLaurin? Yes. But we'll see what I do with with Cleveland's running back I picked up in Samson. So we'll see. Or obviously, I didn't even check the waiver, but yeah. And also too, if I just keep McLaurin in there, I mean that again, you go back to the podcast during the off season, I was very high on him. So, it's kind of, like I always like stick to my guns here. I'm like, no, it's like this is, this is one of my guys. And so,
Did you
I
stick
keep
to your guns? You didn't stick to Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy got hurt, so I couldn't really
I'm just giving you shit.
I know. Yeah. So we shall see. I mean, again, it's gonna start off on Thursday, and it's good. Again, this could be another epic heavyweight fight, and we'll see who I get my fourth, or does Aaron keep adding to his trophy case and get his fifth? So we'll see. I mean, again, if players just have to show up, and again, hoping on Monday night, if it comes down to Monday night, if it's Stafford and Puka all the way through and through, I'm gonna feel really good. About about my team, and hopefully trying to win, trying to get that fourth, and everything. Like I said, I mean, it's funny. It's interesting this year. No really analogies, no puns, no, nothing about my team. Just hard nose, just, punch you in your face. That's it. I made the trade for Chase and thought I was like, okay, I'm close. The team's really good, and Chase has worked out mainly for for the most part. I mean, but yeah, we'll see. It should be fun, fellas. Should be fun, and a lot of, like I said, either a lot of pacing back and forth, a lot of F-bombs, a lot of, I don't know if I'm gonna punch a wall. I don't know if I'm gonna throw something. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Well done. Any last words before we get out of here, Miguel? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, it's just been an incredible season. Again, you two had an incredible game against each other. Somebody had to win. Christian
McCaffrey came through big time. Well, folks, number 1 Lion Rip versus number 3 Butterfingers. Good luck, Darren. Good luck to Todd. And I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season. For Mikey Renault, Todd Diamond, I'm Eric Lansing. We'll see you next time on the MHA podcast.